How many of you enjoyed reading those choose your own adventure books as a kid? I know I definitely did. My favourite were the Goosebumps versions. Loved those. The reason I bring it up is because over the Christmas break, I was sorting through my childhood books, and as I flipped through the old pages, I started wondering, can you take the general concept of choose your own adventure and apply it to crochet? That's just how my brain functions now. It views everything through the lens of crochet. So today, we're not only going to be giving this whole choose your own crochet adventure thing a try, but we'll also technically be continuing my mystery crochet pattern series, the first video of which released at the start of the year. So if you're interested in that, I will pop a link down in the description so you can check it out once you're done here. As I did last time, I'm just going to read the instructions, the little note she's left for me. This one says, there are 3 pieces in order from smallest to biggest. There is a colour change in piece 1, also you need to make 2 of them. Make 1 of piece 2. Piece 3, there are 4 rows that have piece popcorn stitches somewhere in them, or in them somewhere. The instructions themselves seem fairly straightforward. I have a sneaking suspicion making the pattern will not be. Basically, how we've chosen to approach this is that each piece is broken down by round. Not unusual for a crochet pattern, except in this case, I'm going to have 3 different options to choose from. So each round has 3 options. I will need to A, try and determine which of those options is the correct one for the round, but B, so the overarching goal is to try and determine what this pattern, when put together, actually is. I am equal parts excited and terrified to try this. I've just grabbed some yarn from my scrap bag, yellow and red, first ones I pulled out. I know because of the notes that there is a colour change somewhere in piece 1, but I don't know where that is. How I'm going to approach this is because I need to make 2 of piece 1. I'm going to use the first one I make as sort of a trial run. So I'll make that and I'll get a feel for the shape or what I think the shape is supposed to be, as well as where the colour change should be. And then in piece 2, we can correct some of the mistakes that I'll potentially make. That is my plan. Do I start in red or yellow? Let's start in red. Round 1, I have 3 options. I have option 1, magic circle 4 single crochet. Option 2, magic circle 6 single crochet. Option 3, magic circle 8 single crochet. My instinct is to go with the second option, magic circle 6 single crochet, because that is what I do the overwhelming majority of the time. However, when I create smaller pieces, it's not uncommon for me to start with 4 single crochet. But then again, when I do use 4 single crochet, it's usually for pieces that only have between maybe 1 and 6 rounds, like really small pieces. This has 11 rounds. I think I'm going to go with my gut here and start off with 6 single crochet, just because that's my usual go-to. 1. The 3 options for round 2 are increase by 2, increase by 3, and increase by 6. My instinct is to go with increase by 6 because, again, that is what I use most frequently. But because this is a smaller piece and it's only 11 rounds, I'm instead going to increase by 3. So let's do, if I can get my hook in there. Okay, and I've marked that off. So I started with 6 single crochet and then I went to increase by 3. Round 3, my options are increase by 6, single crochet around, or increase by 3. I'm torn between single crochet around and increase by 3. I think I'm going to stick with the middle column for now. I'm going to go single crochet around, which should be 9. 1, round 4, I've got single crochet around, increase by 6, decrease by 3. You know what? I'm going to increase by 6. Third increase. I don't think I would decrease this early in a pattern. I don't know. So I'm going with my instinct. Yeah, I'm just going to increase. You know what? Maybe it's, I'm thinking I had 12 stitches in my round, but I only had 9. So I don't think it's 6 increases, because that would take up 6 stitches and it would leave me with 3. And I can't see a reason I would do that. Let me take those out. I think I'm back to the start. So instead, I'm going to single crochet around again, just because I don't think I would decrease this early in a pattern. Then round 5, decrease by 3, decrease by 6, or increase by 6. I'm going to go with decrease by 3 because I can't decrease by 6 because I only have 9 stitches and I need 12 to do that. I did work out that maths right, didn't I? I need 12 to decrease by 6, and increase by 6, I run into the same problem as I had last round. I technically can do that, but it will leave me with 3 stitches, and I don't foresee that happening in this pattern. So we're going to decrease by 3. Round 6, I can either increase by 3, have a single crochet round, or an increase round. I think I'm going to increase by 3. I feel like I'm just choosing ones from the same column, but it could be single crochet around. This is so much harder than I thought it would be, just choosing between these options, because my brain is going, well, I can see a use for option 3, or I can see a use for option 2. And I don't know which fork to travel down. Okay, first, before I decide what round I'm actually going to change colour here for no other reason except that I'm sort of halfway through the pattern, just over halfway through the pattern, so now is as good as time as any. Bugger it, I'm just going to do... I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got 6 stitches. I'm just going to do an increase round. So 6 increases all up. I don't think it's worth trying to guess what this is at this stage. Yeah, there's literally no point in doing that. I have no idea. Okay, what did I choose? Increase round. So I went over to here. Then round 7, I have single crochet round, increase by 3, or decrease by 6. I'm going to do a single crochet round. So I should have 12 stitches now. 1. Round 8, increase by 3, a decrease round, or a single crochet round. Maybe another single crochet round, because I know I've created some pieces that sort of have waves or curves, and I'm wondering if this is one of those. So I just increased. If I single crochet around for 1 or 2 rounds and then decrease back down, then I increase back up, single crochet, decrease back down, and continue. Not for very long because this is only 11 rounds, but that might be the shape. I can't remember what pattern that was a part of when I did that, but it's a possibility. Because it's so short, this pattern, I may not have put as many rounds of single crochet between the increase part and the decrease part. So instead, I'm just going to decrease. So a decrease round, which means I need to do 6 decreases. Round 9, well, there's no increase option available here, so I'm going to choose the single crochet around one. Then round 10, I've got increase by 3, decrease by 6, or single crochet. I am going to increase. I really should be using stitch markers so I don't lose my place. I'm only working with small rounds, but that doesn't matter. Not that I am speaking from experience or anything. Final round, decrease by 6. Well, that's out because I've only got 9 stitches. Single crochet around or a decrease round. And again, I think that's out just because I have an odd number of stitches. If I had a decrease round, that would sort of lend itself to having an even number of stitches. So one option left, and that is to single crochet all the way around. 1 and 9. Okay, there is my piece. You know what? It kind of looks like a one of those egg holders. You know, you got the egg base and then you put your egg in there when you have boiled eggs. That, or it looks like a severed finger. That's my way of saying I have no idea what this actually is. Now, I know I need to make a second one of these, but what I think I'll do, rather than try and guess what they are and come up with a second one on the spot now, I'm instead going to go on to pieces 2 and then 3. Once I've crocheted them, I may have a better understanding of what the pattern actually is. Then I can come back to piece 1, and maybe if I'm really lucky, I can get the correct round sequence, because I don't think that's it. I do not think I got that right. Not even close. Let's head on over to piece number 2. Piece number 2 is, let me look ahead, 21 rounds, so a little bit bigger. And I don't think there was any specific notes regarding this one. Make one of piece 2, so I don't think there's any sort of stitches I need to worry about including. Don't have to worry about color changes, which isn't a bad thing. Because I changed color to yellow, I think I'll start off with the yellow. All right, what do we got here? We can go with 8 single crochet in a magic circle, chain 4, or 6 single crochet in a magic circle. And again, just because it's my go-to, I use it the most frequently, I'm going to go with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Because this one is a little bit, record please, because this one is a little bit of a larger pattern, for the first couple of rounds, if it's an option, I'm going to increase by 6, maybe for the first 3 to 4. I've just finished round 4 and I have increased by 6 every round so far. For round 5, there is an option to increase by 6 here as well. There is also increase by 2 and single crochet around. And this is where I get stuck, because a piece that is only, 21 rounds. There's a couple of different ways I go about shaping them depending on what it is, but of course, I don't know what it is. So it's hard to tell, again, which direction I need to be going in, because I could increase by 6 again, but if I'm trying to shape like a sort of rounded piece, it's not uncommon for me to single crochet in the round and then do another increase piece if I want that more, like a more curved shape. Don't know. I might single crochet all around for round 5, just to mix it up a bit, if for no other reason, just to mix it up a little bit. For round 6, I can either increase by 2, single crochet around, or increase by 6. I think I'm going to go back to increase by 6 again. It makes sense in my head at the moment, but without knowing what the pattern is, it's hard. It is hard to grasp which option I need to go with. Round 7, increase by 12, increase by 3, or single crochet around. I'm going to go back to single crochet around, although it could be increased by 3. No, I'll stick with the single crochet around. I have just single crocheted around for the last 4 rounds, so rounds 7 through to 10, because my best guess is that this is a head, given that there's only 3 parts to this pattern. Well, for piece 1, I need to make 2 pieces, but there are 3 patterns to follow. I think one of them is a head and one of them is a body, and these are possibly arms. Between piece 2 and 3, I think piece 2 might be the head piece just because it is smaller, and generally, this is not the case all the time, but generally the head pieces are fewer rounds than the body pieces, at least in a lot of the patterns that I can remember making. So I think this is the head, and given that it's a head, I went with the rounds of just single crochet to like maintain the face shape. I didn't want to make it like this one going like in and out constantly. I don't think I've ever made a head like that, so I decided not to go that route. I'm debating whether or not I should continue this, because looking ahead, both rounds 11, 12 and 13 are the same. They're not the same, but they each have options for single crochet around. I think I'm just going to stick with that, to be honest. There are still options for rounds 14 onwards to like decrease. And I'm just going with how I usually make heads. I go out, I go down, and then I decrease back in. I reckon my best bet is just to go with that theory. Last round I did, or the last decrease round I did, was like 3 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated 6 times. So the final rounds of decreases would be like 2 single crochet decrease, 1 single crochet decrease, and then finally 6 decreases. That's 3 rounds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go. So unless I space out all of my decreases with rounds of single crochet, which I can't recall ever doing in a pattern, I think I may have jumped the gun a little bit early with my decreases. Let's try and fix this mistake. Instead, I'm just going to decrease by 3. This is not gone according to plan. I have 21 stitches in my round. My options for round 18 are a decrease round, decrease by 6, or decrease by 12. I'm just going to decrease by 6 because it's not going to be even. But if I do a full decrease round, or if I decrease by 12, I think that will be too many decreases, and I still have 3 rounds to go after this. Decrease by 6 is my best bet. You know what? Screw it. I've already buggered this up. I'm just going to put all 6 decreases in a row. Why not? It might look all right. And after this, I think I'm just going to add the stuffing. If this pattern was a balloon, I think I've done a damn good job, but unfortunately I don't think it's supposed to be a balloon. I think it's actually supposed to be a head. It's a very egg-shaped head. If I decrease by 3, and here's the issue, I don't know if this is like a closed piece, if I should finish off and weave in my end, or if this is an open piece, because I've made both. It could be either. I don't know. But for now, I think I'm just going to decrease by 3. Round 20's options are decrease by 3, decrease by 6, decrease by 2. If I decrease by 6, that is basically it. That'll take me down to 6 stitches. And I don't remember ever finishing off a piece with less than 6, which, you know, in this context means I'd have nothing left to crochet in round 21. So instead, I'm just going to go with decrease by 3 again. That'll take me down to 9 stitches. And then the final round, round 21, that can also be decreased by 3, which will take me down to 6. I don't know why I'm putting so much thought into these final 3 rounds. It's not like I've done the rest of the rounds correctly, but, you know, we'll treat it as just a thought exercise. I feel confident in saying I did not get this one correct. I think I got it rather incorrect, actually. But I'm not going to worry about that because I may end up making the third and final and biggest piece even more incorrect. The body pattern is 27 rounds, so it's really not too many more than the head pattern. I mean, I'm calling it the body pattern. I'm assuming it's the body pattern. Excuse the abrupt costume change. I may or may not have spilled tea. Not important. Let's get on with the third part of this pattern. I am once again going to be starting off with 6 single crochet in a magic circle, just because, as I've said probably like 2 times, because I've made 2 pieces, 2 times in this pattern already. It's my go-to. I think I still have tea on my hands. I thought I dried them properly. Apparently not, because the yarn is sticking. And 6. Now this was the pattern that there were 4 rounds of popcorn stitches, I think. Let's go back to the very first page. Piece 3, there are 4 rows that have popcorn stitches in them somewhere. I know what it is. I know what it is. Well, I think I know what it is. I reckon it's my caterpillar. No, did that have 3? It might have had 3. No. Did it have 3 or 4 rows of popcorn stitches? Because I used the popcorn stitches to create the legs. But I thought I had 3 rows of them. Maybe I had 4. But that makes sense, right? Head. They're the antenna. I did not crochet either correctly, but they're the antenna. And then the body piece with the popcorn stitch legs. I'm 100% right on that. With the whale, I was only like 70% sure because I thought it was a ghost. But I want to say 100, but maybe not quite there. I am 98% certain this is my caterpillar pattern. So the question is, I know, or I think I know it's my caterpillar, but I don't remember the pattern off the top of my head. I can picture the vague shape. That the shape of the body was actually the shape that I was sort of going for here. It goes out, then in, then out, then in. It's got curves to it. This doesn't, but we can fix that when I have to crochet the second piece. But I don't remember the exact order, and I don't remember what rounds I put the popcorn stitches in. Because there is, was it 26 or 27 rounds total, I'm going to try and space them out sort of evenly, but we'll worry about that after I crochet like the first section of the piece. So increase by 3, I think would be my next round. Oh, I'm stoked I figured that out. At least I think I figured it out. But like, seriously, what else could it be? Now that I'm thinking of this as an antenna, I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. It's got to be what it is. All right, what are my options for round 5? I've got increase by 6, single crochet around, or increase by 3. Round 6, I would have thought I decreased back down because the shaping I'm picturing, like I mentioned before, sort of went out, in, out, in, out, in. But there is no decrease option here. But there is increase by 12 or increase round. Increase round might be a bit too much because I'm at 18 stitches at the moment. Increasing by 18, maybe I did do that because that would give me quite a dramatic increase. I don't think I've chosen the correct option so far. bugger it, I'm just going to do an increase round. So I'm just going to put an increase in each round. Why not? Even knowing what this pattern is, or being 98% certain I know what it is, I still can't get it right. That is not how this pattern starts off. I am 100% sure of that. It looks like a little hat. But we're just going to carry on anyway. That was round 6, and I increased in every round. So for round 7, I could decrease by 3. Yeah, let's decrease by 3. Why not? No, I don't decrease yet. Maybe the single crochet around. Let's do that instead. Because if I single crochet around for a couple of rounds, then I do my decreases. Round 9, I'm going to go with the decrease by 6 option. So let's mark that off now, decrease by 6. And after that, I'm going to attempt my first popcorn stitches, my first legs in round 10, and I might space them out by 3, maybe 2 rounds. I cannot remember how I did it in the original pattern, but I've just noticed my camera is very low on power, so I'm going to be swapping to battery saving mode, which just means I'm going to be using it sparingly. I'll bring you guys back after I've crocheted like several rounds. Because I can't, for some reason, I cannot use this camera while it is on charge, which is kind of a pain in the ass. I know in my original caterpillar pattern, I crocheted the legs a different colour, so I'm just going to try the same thing here, even if I don't get their placement exact. First lot of legs are done. I also crocheted the round after that where I decreased down by 6. I'll continue on in a similar manner for the rest of the body pattern, increasing out, single crocheting around, including popcorn stitch legs, and then decreasing down, if I am able to with my choices here. And because of the camera situation, I'm just going to bring you guys back sort of intermittently to give you some updates. I am up to the final round of my body piece. I have 12 stitches in the round, and my options are decrease by 2, decrease by 3, or decrease by 6. If I'm remembering rightly, this was an open piece. I remember attaching the open section of the body to the head when I made my original caterpillar version. That's not going to work out in this case. And to get it as close to an open piece as possible, I'm going to choose to do the least amount of decreases, which in this case is 2. I mean, it's not too bad. I got 1/3 of the body pattern sort of right. I'm grasping at straws here. What did I have to do? 4 single crochet and a decrease repeated twice. The body pattern is taken care of. I'm going to leave a tail for sewing. The last thing I have to do in this challenge is crochet the second and tenor. And now that I have an actual idea of what it is, I think I can do a better job at recreating it. So I will jump back to the first pattern. And I've made my original markings in blue, but I'll switch colours. Let's do a nice purple. My camera has officially died at this point, so I will assemble my derpy little caterpillar here, and I think we'll come back tomorrow to finish off the outro. tried to improve things a little bit by adding the eyes. Honestly, I think the best thing I can say about them is they didn't make it worse. And we're finished. You know what? I thought I did a pretty terrible job with this. And in some places that is true. I mean, check out this antenna. That you cannot argue I did a good job with that. But then I grabbed out the original version of this caterpillar. And I really don't think I did all that badly, especially with the body. Granted, by that point, I had sort of figured out what it was, so I had a general idea of the shape that I was going for, but I couldn't remember the exact pattern off the top of my head. But I think I did okay. Obviously, if you compare the bottoms of the caterpillars, there's a big difference there. But as I progressed, I got pretty close. Turns out there was only 3 popcorn stitches, but if I am remembering correctly, I did actually edit the pattern after I'd finished the original version to include the option of adding more sections, because these are just the same pattern repeated over and over again. So that is potentially where the 4 popcorn stitches came from. So if you intend to make this pattern, if you're on Patreon, you get the PDF version, there should be the option to include as many of these segments as you like. But yeah, all up, I think I did okay. Even with the head, I thought the head would be a lot shorter than it is, but it's not really. The one difference is that I obviously didn't realize at the time of crocheting this was it's shaped by using increases. So there's like increases at the front of the head here that gives it like a tiny little curve for the mouth section. I didn't know that, but yeah, all up, I don't think I did a bad job. What do you guys reckon? This was a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing these mystery patterns, and I think my sister still has a couple of ideas. I don't know, I have a couple of ideas too that we can implement in the future. I'm looking forward to those. Before we go here, we're going to have our second ever The Hookup segment. And in today's segment, we are featuring Nova's Creations. Nova's Creations, in their own words, describes themselves as, I have always been interested in art and textile craft. Since I was a kid, I've been making costumes and in more recent years completed a BFA in costume creation at the National Institute of Dramatic Arts. I've made costumes for films, theatre, myself, friends and various commissioners. I love sewing, crochet, embroidery, digital and physical art, 3D modelling and some more ancient textile crafts. That is all so very cool. In the last 2 years, I've had a significant deterioration in physical ability and it slowed me down a lot, but I still love to make and craft. I'm sorry to hear that, and I know a lot of people in the community sympathise with that, myself included, and I'm glad to hear, though, that your crafts, your creations still bring you joy, even if you can't quite do it at the level that you used to. All of Nova's Creations links will be down in the description. Please go give them a follow, a subscribe on all their social media platforms. If you yourself would like to be featured in the hookup, there is also a link to a Google form down in the description, so you're just going to have to hop down there and fill that out. It's as simple as that. Let me know your final thoughts on my caterpillar friends here. How early into the video did you guess what the pattern was? If you are interested in the written pattern, that will be available on my Patreon. Speaking of which, thank you very much to all my patrons for your ongoing support. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, like the video if you enjoyed it, share it if you think it's worth sharing, and I will see you all next week with another video. Bye.